Welcome to Wisconsin in Focus. I'm Bruce Walker, Great Lakes Regional Editor for the Center Square. Joining me today is the Center Square's Wisconsin correspondent, Benjamin Yount. We talked in a previous segment about Governor Evers signing the budget and using the power of the line item veto to make a couple of switcheroos in the jots and tittles of hyphenation and punctuation and changing a little number here, a little number there. But that was an education, and we talked about that extensively. But there was quite a few other vetoes that he exercised in this budget as well. So why don't you pick up where you left off?
This budget came back looking like some of my early copy here at the Center Square, all full of red marks and edits. And, well, I don't know that we need this. And why don't we do this? And can you take a look at that? Yeah, it was a copy editor's dream with this budget was finished. But no, this is a $99 billion 2-year spending plan, and it covers all manners of minutia. And you're right. The big attention grabbing vetoes were to erase almost all of the Republicans' $4.5 billion tax cut. The governor is getting all manners of attention, even nationally. Ken Jennings, the host of Jeopardy, made a comment on Twitter about the governor securing education funding for 400 years. But this is, again, the nuts and bolts of state government, and it covers everything from pay raises to road funding to... Rather, I hate the word controversial, because what is controversial to somebody is not controversial to someone else. School choice is controversial to people who don't support school choice. But the governor protected diversity, equity, and inclusion at the University of Wisconsin in this budget. We wrote extensively, probably much to the chagrin of every single copy editor. We wrote a lot about the Republican push to end DEI at the University of Wisconsin. Robin Vos called it reverse discrimination, said it's indoctrination, said that he did not want the university to be spending tens of millions of dollars a year on nearly 200 administrators whose only job was to look into diversity, equity, and inclusion. In the budget, Republican lawmakers trimmed $32 million. They shifted it. They didn't cut it. They shifted it. They said, well, you can't spend it on DEI. If you want to spend it on workforce development, if you want to spend it on computers, if you want to spend it on teaching engineers and nurses, mazel. You can do that, but don't you dare spend a nickel of this on DEI. The other half of that DEI angst was to eliminate from the university's budget 188 full-time positions. And if you've never read through a government budget, that's how they count these things. FTE, full-time equivalent. And so Republican lawmakers, in crafting the budget, cut 188 jobs. The governor protected those jobs. He said, nope, those will stay. He didn't touch the $32 million trim because that money was not necessarily cut. University, of course, said that they're thrilled to death that the governor is showing once again his commitment to higher education. And that's just one of many vetoes that the governor tucked into this spending plan.
Let's dig down into some of the other specifics.
Robin Vos was quite bothered, and again, Vos is the Assembly Speaker, quite bothered by an expansion of Medicaid. Democrats here in Wisconsin have been fighting since the days of Obamacare to expand Medicaid fully and cover all manners of single, able-bodied, childless adults, which is who the original Obamacare expansion covered. States have since moved to expand their Medicaid rolls to include people who are in this country illegally. If you need more on that, go see Illinois on the Center Square. They write about that extensively. Republicans here in the state have held the line, saying Badger Care covers everyone. There is no gap in coverage. The governor has been pushing for a Medicaid expansion for years and years and years and years, and he has been thwarted. Well, in this budget, he gets a small, in certain circumstances, Medicaid expansion because it is going to go for gender-affirming care. And this is the quote from Voss the other day. So the state's Medicaid program should not be funding transgender surgeries and gender-affirming care. The governor's veto allowing this practice continues to take money away from low-income families who truly need Medicaid dollars for important healthcare visits and procedures. And we're not exactly sure just how much money this is because you don't know how many people who qualify for Medicaid are going to want to go and have a surgery. And as anyone who's been involved in healthcare pricing can tell you, it's not a McDonald's. You don't walk in and there's a menu board that says, well, a broken arm's $500, a broken nose is $200, and a top and bottom surgery is X amount. We don't know how much this is going to cost. This is one of the, again, smaller vetoes that the governor issued on a smaller issue that when you take a look at tax cuts get erased, 400-year education funding guarantee, all of these other ancillary things, they get hidden. And I don't think that it's too conspiracy theory to say you can find a number of Republicans at the State House in Madison who are saying, oh, that's the point. That's why he's doing this, to hide these kinds of things.
Anything else to add to that, Ben?
This is going to be, again, 2-year, $99 billion state budget. I expect that it's going to be over the next couple of weeks because short holiday week, the governor gets in, boom, makes all the news, and everybody disappears. It's going to be a couple of weeks before everybody at the Capitol can sift through this budget, see just what's in it and just what's not in it.
Well, thank you very much, Benjamin Yount. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com. I'm Bruce Walker, Great Lakes Regional Editor for The Center Square. Please subscribe, and thank you for listening.